All right, boys, she's here.
Sold to me. That's right.
Check it out, boys. 2022 GR86 and Neptune Blue, 6-speed manual, of course. I got this from Salt Lake City, Utah. I flew up there on July 4th weekend. I live in Las Vegas, and then I drove the 5 to 6 hours back down. Bought it for MSRP. The base price was about $28,000. No additional markups, no mandatory options. The only option that this car came with was the all-weather mats. These things down here, and let me show you the sticker so you can see the exact price of the car. As you can see, $27.7K, $249 for the all-weather matte package, and the total came out to $28.9. Now, I was weighing between financing and buying the car cash. I decided to finance because I was able to secure 3.49%, which I thought was sufficiently low where it made sense to finance it and hold on to that cash and invest it in other things. I put down $2,000 down, and that's the max that I was able to use with a credit card, which is why I did that, because I could get reward points for that $2,000. And yeah, obviously I have a 2013 Scion-frs that I've been driving for 9 years. I got this car almost exactly 9 years ago. It was July 4th weekend of 2013. July 4th weekend of 2022. I was getting a little bit tired of the white color. I think this car is beautiful and gorgeous in white. I paid extra to have the white paint, but I wanted something a little bit more interesting, something that had a pop. So Neptune Blue or Track Bread was the other color I would have been happy with. Now, I've been trying to get one of these since essentially November of last year at Thanksgiving time, right? And I was calling dealerships all across Nevada, California, Oregon, and they were saying, do you mean the Toyota GT86? They didn't even know, at least the salespeople, they didn't even know that this was available back then. So I've been waiting a long time. I almost got one in December here in Las Vegas for MSRP, Track Bread Premium, but there wasn't an official list. So then some other sales guy had his interested, customer interested client swoop in and pick it up before me and my guy could get it. My sales guy actually called me, and I was like, yeah, dude, let's do it. And then he calls me 2 minutes later, hey, sorry, man, someone else swooped in and got it before me. So, bummer. But I wanted to get the premium trim. But as you can see, this is base. So you can tell because it has these wheels, 17 inches, not the 18-inch black ones. I do not have a ducktail spoiler, but I did order one that I'm going to be installing shortly. I installed this 5-axis lip spoiler when I first got this car many years ago, just double-sided tape. It was pretty easy to do, and it's stuck without any issues ever since. I'll be doing the same thing here, just with tape. I don't think that I'll need to drill it, because if it's stuck there for 9 years, it'll probably stick here as well without issue. I am going to be getting tint done, ceramic tint all around, including the windshield, because the heat in Vegas is brutal, and ducktail spoiler, as well as ceramic coating. This car, I have full Expel Ultimate clear bra on the front, full front hood, the fenders, you can see the line right here, full bumper, these headlights, and also the side view mirrors. Now, I did that, what was that? Very soon after I bought it. So again, also close to 9 years ago. And the front has held up, incredibly well. There's no paint chips, nothing like that. But this car, I'm not gonna do that. This cost over $1,000 to do. And essentially, I babied this car, man. This car meant so much. It signified, it represented so much hard work to get to this point, right? And because of that significance that this car had, I really babied it. I would joke that this is the best condition FRS in the nation at the time, before I started tracking it a lot more aggressively. And I realized that the car ended up owning me, and this car is in immaculate condition. Even though the last 2 years I've really been a lot harsher with it, put on a lot of miles. It is only at 80,000 miles, but at the beginning of the pandemic, it was like 40,000. So I put on a lot of miles in just the last 2 years. This car is my cheap track day beater, is what it's gonna be. So that also made me feel more comfortable going with the base level rather than the premium, because the premium, you're gonna have the nice Alcantara on the seats and over here, which I definitely would have preferred. The heated seats I have no use for. I'm in Nevada. I spend some time in California, so never really gets cold enough to warrant that. The headlights don't swivel. In terms of the, I don't have this, but I can add the duckbill spoiler, no issue. I don't have metal on my my pedals. I have this like rubber. Shouldn't be a big deal though. And then, yeah, ultimately I really wanted to get the premium, but then I realized if I'm gonna be mostly tracking this, I'm changing the wheels out anyways. I'll be taking these ARC 8 wheels, putting it over here. It doesn't really matter as much in that instance whether or not I have base or premium, especially if this is gonna be getting gutted out in a year or two with a roll cage and all that stuff and really become my track toy beater. I hope to have a Lotus Emira in this parking spot in a year or so that will be like my nice, enjoy the Canyon sports car, and this is gonna be my track day beater that I don't care as much about. So that's a big reason why I'm now okay with the base trim in this color. A lot of the dealerships were offering me like, hey, we got a silver, hey, we got a black in the premium with manual, and I kept saying no, which is why it took me so long to get my car, because I was very particular about the color, and I wanted premium for the longest time until I finally said, you know what, fuck it guys, I've been waiting long enough, let's do the base trim. It's gonna be a track toy anyway, so premium isn't really, it's an extra $2,600 to $2,700 and probably not the best use of money if I'm just gonna be beating on it on the track anyways. So now in terms of when I was driving it, I drive this every day. This was my only car before I got this. And this feels much more raw, much more like that 1990s kind of feel. Not quite, but it's in that direction much more. The steering on this generation vehicle, the first gen, is definitely better. It is significantly superior compared to the new gen, but everything else, the engine, the gear selector, the transmission, is better in the second gen. But the first gen has that raw nature, whereas this car, it feels more refined, more grown up, more modern. The steering is not nearly as tingling with feedback. It doesn't load up quite as much. Steering in this is better. This is softer, not as rough around the edges, not as razor edge. It is a little bit more cushioned, a little bit more, like the clutch is so much more forgiving. If I don't nail my shifts perfectly, my rev matches or even my upshifts, I notice immediately in this car. With this car, you don't. It's just much more forgiving. So I don't mind that. I think for a daily driver, a dual purpose vehicle, that makes this much more impressive and better suited. But if you want that really raw feeling that you get from the older generations, older vehicles, the first gen definitely has that more raw flavor. So those were my initial first impressions of this vehicle. It only has 400 miles, the miles of which I was driving it down from Salt Lake City to Vegas. But I'll be doing some more official comparisons, that car to this car. This one is mostly stock. It has headers, tune, the exhaust, CSG Touring A6 exhaust, which doesn't really do much for power, just the headers and the tune, plus these wheels, stock suspension setup. I'll be changing over the wheels to this at some point. But yeah, initial impressions that this is much more refined, better daily driver, not as razor edge, not as raw. The power is a really nice improvement compared to the first gen. The other thing are the tires, which are the Primacy tires on the base trim. These have such low grip, so I haven't pushed it much because I'm still in that braking period, but compared to those Michelin PS4Ss that are 245 with, these 215 Primacies are gonna just slide around like crazy, which should be a lot of fun. I'm curious to see if after driving it more, I still feel the same way, because one initial thought I had was that that car might actually be more fun in certain ways in that it urges you, it eggs you on to push it. This car is substantially faster, but because this car is so slow, every day I drive it, I kid you not, I kick the tail out. I am getting close to red line. I'm beating it hard. Obviously, once the engine is warm only. And I'm getting it sideways even with these 245 PS4Ss. And because the engine is so weak, it really eggs you on. You need to rev it out to actually get a little oomph. And this new gen, because it is more powerful and softer, I'm wondering if it doesn't emotionally charge you as much as this car and maybe doesn't egg you on. That was my initial impression from that first drive. But let's see. I'm gonna drive this a lot more in the coming weeks. And again, if you have any requests on things you want me to compare from the first gen to the second gen, then please do let me know with a comment down below. Much love, my friends. I'm excited to make some content about this car for you. So if you have any requests, let me know with a comment down below. Much love, and I'll see you guys in that next one.